Warning: the following video might contain moments that might be too disturbing for some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm sure many have heard of last episode creepypastas. They usually involve an incredibly graphic episode that conveys such fear to children that it is never aired. For someone who manages to sneak a viewing or own one of the tapes, the most popular example of this is Red Mist, in which Squidward ends himself, hence the title. Of course, all these creepypastas are false, yet I remember a SpongeBob episode that was altered heavily, but still remains in circulation today. This is one course meal from season 7. In the episode, Mr. Krabs finds out that Plankton is horrified of whales and uses it to his advantage. This is one of the least popular episodes of the show due to its dark nature, even after being heavily altered. Now, how would I have seen this episode before it was edited? It is simple, really. This is one of the 7 SpongeBob episodes that was revealed on the internet before it aired on TV. Always a big fan of the show. I was excited at the idea of having a SpongeBob episode premiere on the internet before television. I rapidly reloaded the Nickelodeon page and finally it came up. It was known as Plankton Got Served, for it was eventually changed. Most of the episode is identical to the one that was circulated today. Plankton managed to break into the Krusty Krab and ties up Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob. As he is about to finally get the secret formula from SpongeBob, Mr. Krabs' daughter, Pearl, walks in. This terrifies Plankton and causes him to run out. Plankton later claims his ancestors were eaten by whales, and that's why he fears them so. Mr. Krabs realized this fear that Plankton has and decided to use it against him. He dresses up as his daughter and begins to follow Plankton around, frightening him. Plankton decides he can no longer take it and decides to make the ultimate decision. Plankton decides to end himself. Yes, this is still in the show today. You are free to watch it. Plankton waits for the bus as he lies in the street, waiting to get run over. That's when SpongeBob comes over to try to convince him to continue his existence, where the alteration in the 2 versions begins. Plankton fails to heed SpongeBob's words and remains there. In the alternate version that was shown, SpongeBob tells Plankton that it was Mr. Krabs as Pearl the entire time, and he gets up. In another alternate version, SpongeBob says the same things, but Plankton refuses to believe him. SpongeBob decides that the only thing he can do to show him the truth is to drag Mr. Krabs outside. Soon after he leaves, the typical red bus comes speeding along. Plankton sits up and watches it hit him as everything fades to black. Plankton finds himself standing on a single platform, overlooking darkness. In it, he sees whales, all looking up at him. There are members of his family he can faintly make out, calling for him to jump down. Plankton looks above and sees a light he can scarcely believe. This was seemed to represent heaven and hell. Plankton resigned to his fate, jumps and plunges down into the darkness. This is when the episode ends, and the traditional credits for the show are shown, parallel to Plankton's descent into the darkness. Now, some of you may say you saw the show as soon as it was available online. Apparently not fast enough. After seeing the episode, I reloaded the page to find the altered version shown on the website. I kept reloading, curious of how I have seen the first version. The only answer I can imagine for my viewing of the original episode was that the creators uploaded the wrong file, and moments after uploading it, recognized as such. I may be the only one who saw this version. I truly not know the sick ambitions the creators of SpongeBob had in mind with this episode. Why would a kids show portray death? Why would a kids show portray heaven and hell? Nevertheless, the altered version is impossible to find. I searched as hard as I can and have failed to discover anything legitimate about the episode I have seen. People have told me that I had seen only the altered version that they too were surprised at the dark themes portrayed in the episode. Still, I know what I saw. I know people will fail to believe me. People will accuse me of just trying to scare people. People will say I have no evidence. There are no photos, and there's no video evidence of this occurrence. I only saw it once, and it never occurred to me to do such a thing. But I know the truth, and I want other people to know it too. Maybe someone out there saw this episode as well and can confirm it. Until then, I hope you enjoyed reading about my experience. So that was Plankton Got Served, a SpongeBob creepypasta, and my thoughts on it. That's actually a pretty good one, since this is didn't have the typical lost episode creepypasta tropes. Since this is feels rather refreshing, especially that this is the protagonist actually mentioned that this is actually just the original version of the episode, which has a more darker end. than the one we got. And the ending for that original version of the episode is actually pretty grim. Like Plankton just had to choose either go to heaven or hell, and decided to go to the darkness, which felt bad for the guy because he's kind of traumatized of when he's seeing the whale, which is Mr. Krabs' daughter, Pearl, and if SpongeBob was actually fast enough to trying to tell the truth to Plankton, and while trying to get Mr. Krabs for the evidence, Plankton, the whole getting run over thing will be prevented if SpongeBob do it a lot more quicker. So yeah, and also it says the episode is pretty much hard to find, but there's actually recreations of the creepypasta, since since this creepypasta is just fiction, and everybody can do their own version of the story, which is actually pretty cool since they're actually surprisingly grim but pretty good. So yeah, so I just hope you guys enjoy my creepypasta reading of Plankton Got Served, a SpongeBob creepypasta. So like and comment this video and subscribe more content. So this is Mr. Freddy here, and I hope you have a very good day. So bye.